TV11 on Family Ties, followed by Cheers, Night Court, and Hill Street Blues, tonight on TV11.
I'm Diana Pierce.
And I'm Kirsten Lindquist. Coming up on News 11 at 5, the sights and sounds of a celebration of independence.
Fireworks have been banned in Southern California where fires rage out of control. And Mille Lacs area residents are digging out of some severe weather this July 4th.
And dangerous bugs could be a threat to holiday campers. Paul Majors is off. News 11 at 5 is next.
It's our 4th of July sales spectacular going on for 1 week only. Yeah, right here at Viking Chevrolet in Fridley. Now, friends, when you talk about a brand new car on the market with Japanese technology and the great American comfort, look at this, the all-new, brand new 85 Novas. Yeah, and guess what? We have them in stock in all colors for immediate delivery right here at Viking Chevrolet in Fridley. We'll see you here.
Got the urge? Stop it with the rich, creamy taste of new 1-calorie sugar-free A&W. Now with NutraSweet.
Taste the rainbow of fruit flavors.
It's a rainbow
In Skittles.
Skittles bite-sized candy.
Colorful candy shells with fruit flavors in the middle. Strawberry, orange, lemon, lime. In Skittles. Bite-sized candies. Look for the free Maxell tape offer on specially marked wrappers of Skittles. See details on package and taste the rainbow of fruit flavors in Skittles today.
Taste the rainbow.
In Skittles.
We're booming with bargains. This 4th of July weekend, all weekend long at Sun Valley Waterbeds, have we got a boomer of a sale for you. Explosive savings on waterbeds and bedroom furniture.
That's right, Carolyn. This weekend at all 48 of our showrooms, we've used our nationwide buying power to give everyone the absolute best price on a waterbed. Dynamite deals on the best selection of waterbeds and furniture, and it's going on now through Sunday at all Sun Valley Waterbed showrooms.
Stretch out on the Sun Valley Waterbed.
Good afternoon. Today's the day to remember our freedom as celebrations big and small top News 11 at 5 on this 209th Independence Day in the USA.
Celebrations big and small top News 11 at 5.
From Fort Snelling to small-town Main Streets, it's a day to remember freedom. John Bachman leads a team report.
For many families, historic Fort Snelling was the perfect place to celebrate our nation's independence.
The parade ground is right in between all the buildings right up here, ma'am.
This is where the 5th Infantry Regiment served our country in the early 1800s. And today, a recreation of how they celebrated the 4th of July, with some relief from daily duties after troop inspection and drill.
Column forward, march!
The drill includes more than just marching, a test of their muskets as well.
Fire!
But soon the men are dismissed, and what followed was usually a feast, often a pig roast, and an unusual treatment for overstimulation.
Head starts to pounding, and you feel like the blood is just running around in your veins. Well, the way you do that is you take some of that blood out so that there's more room for what's left. And they will do that in the hospital if you're overstimulated.
Not everyone at the fort has the day off. Inside here, the blacksmith is working away. The blacksmith would make chisels, hammers, and nails, several hundred nails a day.
That's all there is to it. Better straighten that out just a tad.
Finally, the highlight of the celebration, the 24-gun salute. While families here had fun, others attended parades, and Marty Burns-Wolf found a parade for kids of all ages.
What's your favorite part of the parade?
A girl clowns.
What's your favorite part of a parade?
I don't know.
What the kids don't know, the adults do.
Parade.
What's your favorite part?
I would say the marching bands and the shrine horses.
Just sitting here.
The crowd was sitting, but on the streets, the 75 units were moving out. The always popular fire trucks gave way to popular bands. Kids played favorites with ice cream cones. Of course, my favorite part of a parade is getting lost in the crowd. While this lady in a brand new WUSA t-shirt was one of our favorites. As the alumni band from old Abe Lincoln High played Roll Out the Barrel, it was obvious. The gang was, yep, all here. Marty Burnswolf, News 11 in Richfield.
Small-town parades were just as popular as the big city celebrations. The kids of Hudson, Wisconsin were cool today as a character called Joe Cool paraded down Main Street. About 15 kids hit the streets of Hudson this morning. Also in Wisconsin, Superior's parade today was led by emergency vehicles. That parade was threatened for a while by rain, but police cars, fire trucks, and ambulances braved the rain and started the parade. In Monticello, a small-town Minnesota parade today featuring a few floats and plenty of old cars. The antiques rolled down Main Street as the whole town had a chance to watch a part of history drive by.
Today, a North Minneapolis church celebrated the 4th by serving a huge meal. The Disciples Ministry Church put on a picnic for anyone who wanted a tasty meal today. The church says hundreds of people sat down and ate the free meals. And the feast continues at the Taste of Minnesota this afternoon.
Janet Mason was on the Capitol grounds this afternoon and gives us this taste of Minnesota.
The taste of Minnesota here.
The clowns are a big hit with the kids and the young at heart.
Chippy Pop, Cheerios, Jelly on a roll. Ooh!
For those who want to look like clowns, there are several face painters ready with their brushes. The kids can also come face to face with all sorts of animals from the Minnesota Zoo. This friendly little critter is a ferret.
You smell him? Yeah, he's related to the skunk.
But that's not all. Festival goers can also take in a kung fu demonstration, and there's plenty of music. The rock and roll music will be replaced tonight with the Minnesota Orchestra and a spectacular fireworks show. Janet Mason, News 11, St. Paul.
Fireworks will top off the Taste of Minnesota celebration tonight, as Janet just mentioned, along with a concert by the Minnesota Orchestra. The sky was lit up at the State Fairgrounds last night with colorful fireworks sponsored by Channel 11. The event was billed as the loudest, longest, and largest holiday display. Holiday boaters are being asked to be especially careful over the 4th. Thousands of boats are expected on Minnesota waterways this weekend, and already boat traffic is increasing on the St. Croix River.
4th of July festivities were interrupted at the Veterans Administration home in Minneapolis today. The fire department was called after an air conditioning transformer shorted out. Residents of the home were evacuated while NSP and the fire department corrected the problem. Another fire in Roseville gutted an apartment on North Dale Street. There was one injury in the fire, which went to 2 alarms. 2 families are being housed by the Red Cross. Many residents had to be evacuated. And at Terrace Tubes in Somerset, Wisconsin, fire gutted that landmark's concession stand. Volunteer firefighters responded to the blaze that caused $20,000 in damages. There were no injuries in the fire.
In Los Angeles on this 4th, there will be no fireworks because of fires burning out of control there. A dozen counties are fighting fires in Southern California, and the brush is so dry and the situation is so bad, fireworks have been banned. Hundreds of homes in the Los Angeles area have been reduced to rubble, and there is still concern for more fires because many small rural towns permit the sale of fireworks.
Residents of Garrison, Minnesota spent their 4th of July cleaning up after Mother Nature. Several tornadoes hit the town last night and made for a messy morning. Diane Rossi reports.
Garrison, Minnesota sits on the western shores of Lake Mille Lacs. It's a small, quiet resort town, but last night the peacefulness turned into howling terror as several tornadoes ripped a path of destruction through town.
There were people screaming in the cafe. There were a couple little kids that were really spooked, but you don't really see anything. You just see things going and trees falling down. It was, I don't know how to describe it.
Today began the never-ending task of cleanup. Now, as we walked through the town of Garrison, we found mostly split trees and down power lines. But the 72-year-old woman who lives in that house had some real problems with last night's storm. The house was chopped in two by a monstrous tree. Signe Naslund says she's lucky to be alive. When the tree hit, she was sitting in her living room.
The wind came up, and I didn't hear the trees fall. No. It went like that.
No one was injured in last night's storm, and as of yet, no damage estimates. But the people of Garrison say it will take some time before all is back to normal again. Diane Rossi, News 11 in Garrison.
And there are reports of a squad car that was spun around by a twister which reportedly struck isolated areas last night. Well, Paul Douglas has the night off, and Barry Finn is here to tell us a little bit more about what we can expect on this 4th of July.
It turned out to not be too bad of a day. You know, it started out a little gray, but the sun came out. However, looks like it's souring right now, but I think it's only going to last for a few hours. Good thing you weren't around in 1962 for the 4th of July if you had your bathing suits ready. Wait till you see what happened. From 7 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock in the morning, Jackson, Minnesota, on July 4th, 1962, received 7.5 inches of rain, and that rain all came down in a 2-hour period. Well, I hope the residents had their bathing suits on and were ready to go to the beach because they certainly needed it with all the rain. And speaking of rain, take a look at Doppler 11. See these red blobs and green blobs? They are rain showers and thunderstorms, and some heavier thunderstorms have developed within the last half hour over much of the northern regions of the Twin Cities. You'll see that they are moving toward the east-southeast, so over the next 2 to 3 hours, it looks like some areas can get rained on. But the good news is that it should all clear out in time for fireworks at dusk. This afternoon, area temperatures reveal where the front is. Look at the 90s to our south, cooler readings up to the north. Here's the forecast for tonight. We're going to look at some showers or thunderstorms for the next several hours, but then things will be indeed clearing out, and by later this evening, around dusk, skies should clear out in time for the fireworks displays, making everything kind of nice. 58 to 62 as it cools down. So Diana and Kirsten, it looks like we have to put up with a little rain for the next 2 or 3 hours, but it'll be nice. And what do you hear the rest of the forecast? I'll have that a little bit later for the rest of the weekend.
Thanks, Barry. We're celebrating the 4th in a big way here at Channel 11. Public Affairs Director Stuart Lindman signed on the air this morning, announcing that our new call letters are WUSA. Stuart took us back to the old days when he first signed Channel 11 on the air more than 30 years ago. But times have changed, and a reminder to you that our WUSA signal is now being broadcast in stereo.
Still to come on News 11 at 5, a disease that could threaten campers.
But first, tonight's fireworks schedule.
Red Lobster goes all over the world to get the best seafood. So you only have to go as far as Red Lobster.
There's never been a better time, never been a better place.
With everything from seafood salads to seafood pasta to a variety of fresh fish, we have more delicious ways to catch you.
There's never been a better time for seafood. Red Lobster for seafood.
Back when they bought their farm, the Fortuna family also bought their first Frigidaire refrigerator. Today, they got a brand new Frigidaire.
Isn't she a beauty, girl?
It's got everything that Mrs. Fortuna and the 4 Fortuna daughters always wanted. And Mr. Fortuna knows it's still hard to find a refrigerator that'll outwork or outlast a Frigidaire. So what happened to their old Frigidaire?
Ain't she a beauty, girls?
Frigidaire appliances. Here to
News 11 wants you to know that campsites are in short supply for the holiday weekend. Our Night Beat crew found the Lake Independence campground close to capacity early this morning. If you're expecting to get back to nature and enjoy a campfire, perhaps, you'd better make some reservations.
And campers could be threatened by an illness called Lyme disease. It's traced to a new breed of tick. And as Susan Wiese reports, the pests are alive and well and spreading in Minnesota.
Hard for the naked eye to see. There's a new breed of tick invading these woods, a tick that is only slightly larger than a pinhead and burrows deep into the fur of rodents, dogs, but most often deer. Better seen when magnified, the tick has been spotted in 35 Minnesota counties and can be blamed for nearly 100 cases of Lyme disease. A bite by the parasite leaves a small red bump surrounded by a reddish halo. Symptoms of the illness include achy muscles and joints, pain that can last a lifetime if Lyme disease is not treated.
Well, about 40% of the people that have the tick bite will go on to develop arthritis.
The germ responsible for Lyme disease, a tiny corkscrew-shaped bacterium, can be wiped out with antibiotics. Left untreated, though, the germ lives on, and now there's some evidence to suggest that the bacterium can be transmitted from a pregnant woman to her fetus and can be linked to birth defects in the newborn child. If experiments with these laboratory animals prove successful, in the foreseeable future, we'll have a vaccine to protect against Lyme disease.
But your best protection against the disease may be prevention. When you're outdoors, wear protective clothing or insect repellent. But because that's not always practical and because you can't always avoid tick-infested areas, it will pay off in the long run to know the difference between a relatively harmless tick and one that carries Lyme disease. The yellowish shell is the telltale sign. Knowing the difference could improve your safety this summer. Susan Wiese, News 11.
The Reverend Sun Myung Moon is free today. Reverend Moon is the spiritual leader of the Unification Church, and he was released from a New York jail. Moon was picked up by his family after serving 13 months for tax evasion. And family members of William Darris, one of the former TWA hostages, were on hand at a 4th of July parade in Arlington Heights, Illinois. Darris has a lot to celebrate on this day of freedom.
Reports are out today that General Motors will locate the long-awaited Saturn plant in Michigan. According to the cable TV financial news network, GM will announce its decision to locate the plant in Kalamazoo next week. Minnesota had offered GM $1 billion in tax relief to lure Saturn here. GM says it has not made any decisions about the new plant. Minnesota taxpayers could be hit hard if some of President Reagan's tax proposals are approved. Dollars and Cents editor Mary Stuckey explains.
Earlier, we told you about President Reagan's plans to end the federal deduction for the state income tax. Now, that will hurt people in high-tax states like Minnesota. But that isn't the only local tax deduction the president wants to eliminate. The president is proposing a major change in the deduction for local sales and property taxes. Under current law, these taxes are deductible if the taxpayer itemizes. The president wants to eliminate the deduction. If it's accepted, the change would hurt Minnesotans. Cynthia Joyce from the accounting firm of Touche Ross explains what will happen.
Lower deductions, higher income, more tax.
On the other hand, the president says eliminating the local sales and property tax deduction will encourage states to keep taxes low. But remember, this is just a proposal. Congress has yet to give its approval. Mary Stuckey, News 11.
And tomorrow, Mary reports on a proposal that will affect most low-income taxpayers.
Well, still to come on News 11 at 5, a vending machine for bait.
But first, more places to see fire.
It's a known fact a dirty carburetor wastes gas. Let me show you the easy way to clean your carburetor with JB Carburetor Cleaner. Printed on the back of this can are 3 simple steps, and it takes less than 10 minutes to do the job. JB Carburetor Cleaner cuts through the carbon, gum, and varnish that ruins your car's gas mileage. Buy a can of JB Carburetor Cleaner wherever automotive products are sold. Tell him Ed Justice sent you.
Nissan 300ZX Turbo. You know the car. But do you know what it's like to drive it? Now you know. Once you get inside a Z will get inside of you.
Major motion from Nissan.
Get your best deal now at Terry Feldman's Imports, Minneapolis.
Hunting for a way to control foxtails and other problem grasses? Get new Fusillade 2000, the total solution for grass control. Volunteer corn and other grasses, volunteering to wreck your yields? Get new Fusillade 2000, the total solution for grass control.
In the land of Dairy Queen.
There's a cool, refreshing mist rolling over the land. It's the Mr. Misty from Dairy Queen. The Mr. Misty Freeze and the Mr. Misty Float in a rainbow of favorite flavors. Refresh yourself with mist from the land. Mr. Misty.
In the land of Dairy Queen, we treat you right.
Well, the holiday means better attendance for Canterbury Downs. Canterbury Downs estimates that today's crowd is right around 12,000 people. Now, Tom Ryther joins us. He's sitting in for Jeff Passolt with more on the track. You're leading off with the track tonight.
I'm just wondering if Jeff is out there today, losing some of his
Well, he's on
money.
vacation. We don't know what he's doing.
Well, I bet he is.
You've got a relative out there, though.
Oh, my dad sells for Bob's tip sheets. That's right, the #1 tip sheet guy, my dad.
Has it helped you yet?
It will Saturday. As you just heard, a big day at Canterbury Downs on this 4th of July. In the first race, half the daily double. Miss BB, the winner. Let's pick up the call with Tony Bentley.
By the 8th pole, it's Tex Oma, a half. Miss BB on the outside that challenged for the lead. By the 16th pole, it's Miss BB.
I would say that Miss BB did win that race. #1 in the daily double, and #5, well, what else? The payoff on that $40 in the daily double today at Canterbury. We have an interesting story tonight that's a little bit fishy, but it has a hook you're sure to catch. You getting all this? Modern technology is taking over a fishing tradition that has been with us since the beginning. Steve Carroll reels in the story.
For years, we did it like this, but now times have changed.
Yeah, this is the brightest innovation that's happened in the United States, I think, since the hula hoop.
It's called Vending, a coin-operated bait shop that sells live fishing bait 24 hours a day. Passers-by do a double take when they see the new machine on Broadway near Penn Avenue in Minneapolis. They're a bit skeptical of a machine that takes their money hook, line, and sinker. And I bet you're wondering how they keep the stuff alive.
We have a special formula that we cannot reveal that we put into each package. And we can keep any bait alive up to 3 or 4 weeks.
If you're still not sure about this newfangled way to buy your fishing bait, they guarantee everything. And their stringer includes wiggly worms, slippery leeches, and the popular wax worms. Right now, this is the only Vending machine like this one in the state of Minnesota, but Green plans on changing that, adding 20 more machines to the Twin Cities area in the next couple of weeks. With my half-dozen leeches, this is Steve Carroll reporting for News 11 Sports.
Oh, I don't know about you, but didn't that stuff look good? Good enough to eat. In case you're wondering, night crawlers from the Vending machine cost $1.65 a dozen. The wax worms, 12 for $1.55, and the leeches, 95 cents if you buy a half dozen. And that's not too bad, a pretty good price.
Now, I think that's a great idea. My only problem with that is putting the leeches on the hook.
For an extra $100, I will come
You will
along
do it.
and do that.
You couldn't pay me to do it again.
Price is right. Thanks, Tommy. Well, today's 11 Country Good Neighbor is being credited for helping people while he needed help himself. Bob Milner of South Minneapolis left the corporate world to help find jobs for others. And he did that in between 150 trips to the hospital over a 9-year period. So we say thanks to Bob for making 11 Country and Minneapolis such a great place to live.
Entertainment editor Barry Zvan is finding his place in a movie seat this weekend. He's raising his eyebrows for the film Back to the Future.
Doc! Marty! You made it! Yeah! Welcome to my latest experiment. This is the big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
And this invention takes Michael J. Fox's character back to 1955, where, among other hilarious happenings, he plays matchmaker for his mother and father, who haven't even met each other yet.
Which one's your pop?
That's him. Okay, you guys. Ha, 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 ha. Very funny. There's somebody I'd like you to meet. Lorraine?
Calvin!
In addition to thinking that her future son's name is Calvin Klein, she has another problem, too.
Doc, are you trying to tell me that my mother has got the hots for me?
Precisely.
Whoa, this is heavy.
There's that word again, heavy. Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and Twin Cities actress Lee Thompson turn in wonderful performances in this wacky, warm, and hilarious film. A sure way to beat the blues. 3 enthusiastic eyebrows. Barry Zvan, News 11.
I love the way his ears go up and down, too, when he does that. Up next at 5, a salute to Lady Liberty.
That and more when we come back. But first,
This is now showing.
That's right!
Step inside the movies with me.
Do you believe in premarital sex? Haven't you ever heard of the sexual revolution? Who won, huh? Nobody.
Where things are heating up.
I have to have something for myself first before I can share it with you.
Look around St. Elmo's bar. The gang's all here. Everybody's got the same problem. Love.
Get your hands off my wife.
You're not married to me. You're married to your friends in the bar.
Will you just for once not use as the excuse for not marrying me your damn career?
The action changes, and something strange is happening. We feel free, marvelously alive, and young. Must be something in the water. A flood used to awaken aliens brings new life to humans. Now, hang on. We're coming in for a landing.
Where are we, anyway?
Looks like we've returned with Dorothy to Oz. Nothing we've seen before will prepare us for her new adventure. Next, we find ourselves in the Amazon. A boy is kidnapped. His father embarks on a desperate 10-year search into the depths of the jungle to rescue Tommy.
And darn it, cut me!
And finally, let's travel back into time. We're in the 1950s, when life was easier and a lot cheaper. Imagine hearing a noise in the barn and investigating, find the man from the 1980s. What do you say?
It's a flying saucer from outer space!
Sponsored by Now Showing. Enjoy the movies.
Barry Finn is here now to tell us that it looks generally pretty good tonight for fireworks, doesn't it?
That's right. It was nice much of the day. However, we're starting to get sour right now. Take a look at current conditions. Not too bad in the southern parts because out at the airport we're partly sunny right now and 79 degrees. You see the winds north at 28 and they are gusty at times, so watch it if you're heading out to a lake for the evening. Humidity 42%, pressure 29.69, and it's falling. Take a look again at Doppler 11. Because this is where the leaks are, and you can see them now moving into the metro areas. Now, some of these thunderstorms are rather hefty, and I think we're going to have to put up with those for the next 2.5 to 3 hours, but things will change. Here's a satellite photograph, all the big activity now moving into Wisconsin. You can see it, some powerful thunderstorms. Here comes tomorrow's weather, clear skies. Let's check out our forecast for tonight. Not too bad after we get through the next 2 or 3 hours, but for the next 2 or 3 hours, showers of thunderstorms, then clearing skies, 58 to 62 by daybreak. Tomorrow, you can go out and bask in the sunshine. It'll be a beautiful day with highs of about 85.
Thank you very much. And we're going to leave you now with, Diana, go ahead.
Well, I think that does it for our News 11 at 5, and I'll be back tonight along with Kevin McDowell for News 11 at 6.
We're going to leave you now with a salute to the land of liberty. See you later.
Good night.
Here comes another Embers 24-hour better-than coupon meal deal. It's the Embers Barbecue Beef Blockbuster Dinner for only $2.99. What a blockbuster. 6 ounces charbroiled lean chopped beef with Embers special barbecue sauce, Texas toast, golden French fries, creamy coleslaw, baked beans, and topped off with a delicious hot fudge sundae. The Barbecue Beef Blockbuster Dinner, an over $5 value, now just $2.99, available 24 hours daily at Embers family restaurants. Oh, and you don't even need a coupon.
When we introduced Edie's Grand Ice Cream to the Twin Cities, some extraordinary things happened.
Children laugh.
A meter maid smiled and gave someone who needed a quarter. A Belgian nun broke into song in a public square. Most smiles lasted 6 to 8 seconds. And generally speaking, it was the happiest the Twin Cities had been in a long time. It takes an awfully good ice cream to do that. But then again, it's not just ice cream. It's Edie's Grand Ice Cream.
Water Bedroom Man here to announce my spectacular 1986 sale. During this sales event, you can purchase the waterbed of your choice and have no payments until January. Not only are there no payments till January, there's also 6-month interest-free financing. Stop into the Water Bedroom today, buy a new Waterbed or complete bedroom set, and have no payments till January of '86. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. Fly to the Water Bedroom Superstores for my 1986 sale. Bloomington, Crystal, Roseville, and Fridley.